I just ran into a couple on the summit of this mountain behind me who's eloping. She had the most beautiful wedding dress. Been listening to Bombay Bicycle Club, you know it, all afternoon. It's been awesome. I've got a mile left, y'all. I'm so ready for a day off and a shower and laundry and a milkshake. That's all I've thought about for the last few miles is I just want a chocolate milkshake. And I'm very ready to see Parks and Sully. Probably just a few more minutes. I got my boys and I got my milkshake. I'm so happy. Oh, sweet merciful Jesus. Oh, this looks so good. Well, this is a much later start to the day than we had initially planned, but it was a rough night. It stormed, and Sully hates storms. So he kept us up for hours, and we were just so tired, so I slept in. It is a very quiet out here. I think I might be the only one hiking right now. I think because of the weather, there might still be a lot of hikers in town. Also, Hiawatha's mayor is throwing a big free cookout for the community, so a lot of hikers got vortexed into that town. So I might be camping alone tonight, which my mom is not going to like. But I don't think anyone's been out here because I've walked through all the spider webs. This is what the trail looks like today because we just got so much rain last night and the day before. I mean, it's just nonstop rain in the last 24 hours. And so there's plenty of water, but it is muddy. So here's a few things I've noticed that makes the AT super challenging. There's like no such thing as a flat trail. You're either always climbing up or down. The humidity and just the moisture, just like your stuff is just always damp. But then there's things like the conveniences of town being every other day, or where there's trail magic because there's just so many times where the trail intersects with a busy road. And so people know that they could offer trail magic to hikers at those points, which is awesome. And then also there's shelters. Like you can literally just plan your day around sleeping in shelters. And just like that, Peach is done with the Peach State. Woo! And it's raining. It was a cold one. I'm really bad at filling you guys in on what's going on when there's people everywhere. So once I made it to the border, because it's so wet and rainy, I decided to push ahead to the shelter and see if I should go for my first AT shelter experience. And one of the guys at the border who I had met a couple times, he was like, he's like, you're definitely not going to be alone. And that was hard to imagine because yesterday it felt like I was alone all day. Like there was only a few people out there. That's what I thought. Well, everybody had the same idea as me, and there was probably over 30 people at the shelter. So I had to set up my tent, which was fine because it wasn't too wet. And the tent collapsed on itself last night. Don't know how that happened. And so I was dealing with that in the middle of the night. And then last night, these two guys set up directly next to me, which is fine. They're just like, oh, don't worry about us, old geezers. We'll keep the bears away from you. And I was just laying in bed, reading my book, eating dinner. And they're just talking about how much they love their wives and how much they miss them. And it was the cutest thing ever. It was really cold last night. I'm actually surprised. My water didn't freeze, but it was pretty close to freezing. And because of my tent collapsing, there was just a lot of wind getting in here. So it was not the best night's sleep. Also, we hunkered down at, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Maverick, or Ralston, we hiked the PCT with him. He lives in Blairsville, and so him and his family have been hosting us off and on the last week, and they've just been so amazing. And so I'm just super thankful for the Drake family, and I want to make sure that I mention that because they've been amazing to us, and we love them. This is the trail. Just love starting the morning off with soaking wet feet. Ooh, I always have a hard time recording when there's so many people around. The trail's been quite busy this morning. I just hiked with Leslie, and I met Dobby and Buddy Bird, who is hiking the AT for a second time. They thru hiked it last year going southbound, and they loved it so much that they decided to do it again going northbound. It's been quite chilly this morning. Been debating on taking this coat on and off, and also the trail is so muddy. My feet have been soaked all morning, which is also another reason why I've kept my coat on, because my feet and my legs are so cold, but my core is so hot. But at least it's keeping the rest of my body warm.
Like, you better not.
No, I'm like... Good morning. I've got 12 miles before I meet Parks and Sully, and Melina and Himza are gonna join me for the next stretch. I'm so excited. I got a big climb this morning. I was able to sleep in though because they're not getting to our meeting point 12 miles from here until later this afternoon. So I got to read my book, drink my coffee. Oh, good morning. We had a lot of fun last night. I camped with Flounder, Beth, Andrew, another Andrew, Allie, Iceberg, and I think that was everybody. But we had a fire. It was a good night. This has just been an absolute scramble uphill. But there's a fire tower up here. And when I reach the fire tower, that means I made it to mile 100. I gotta catch my breath. This climb might be the death of me, but at least it's pretty. Waiting for my ride, and they brought me McDonald's. I'm so excited. I got my friends. Say hi. It's pretty. Good morning. Had a wonderful time at camp last night with the gals. They did so good. They were wiped though, because they woke up at like 5:30 in the morning to come get to me. So they were so tired. But we knocked out like another 8 miles after we all met up. So yesterday was like an 18-mile day for me, and I felt so good. We're about to hit a fire tower where I'm gonna meet up with them and wait for them. And yeah, I'm just excited to do this with them. I'm just feeling very appreciative that they wanted to join me on this little adventure. Made it to the fire tower. Wow. There you go. More graceful than me. Trail magic. The best. They're from Louisiana and made homemade jambalaya. It's incredible. We're hiking and there's no views. That's where you're like, I'm over it. Sally! Oh. He's like, come on this way. Made it to Parks. Sully! Hi, bud. Yeah, did you miss me? Did you miss me?
Well, but I thought she came back and was essentially going to take over.
Oh.
So he could...
Well, she went to...
It's cool, right? I am so grateful we stayed in the camper because it poured last night. It was a chilly one. We're coming, Sully. Views for days. Wow. Is it raining?
A little bit. I don't know why that's here. It's not like... You can never escape.
I know.
Really thick.
Keep going, Sully, go.
What are these pines? No. Oh yeah, my feet are hurting.
Made it to the knock.
Oh, there he is.
The Nantahala. So cool. Cheers, everyone. Here's Miss Janet's AT mobile, famous trail angel. We decided to push past the Nantahala Outdoor Center up a big climb. Big climb. We're gonna go like another 4 miles, I think. I was gonna take a shower at the knock until I found out it was $12. So I'm just gonna embrace being filthy. Maybe take a hiker bath or wash off in a creek at some point. But our next meeting spot with Parks is Fontana Dam. And I'll definitely jump in over there and take a shower. So I am ripe.
Are we separating the cheese from one pizza from the other piece? Surgery.
Other side.
Alright, shut up.
We are walking in a winter wonderland. Everything's covered in ice. Crazy. Beautiful. You could tell they're ramps because of the way it is.
Tastes spicy.
Let's see. Oh.
Don't eat that size.
There's so much dirt.
That's nice.
That's good. All right, a few updates for everyone. Let's see. Shortly after we got to the summit of Chatoa Bald, Melina's blisters really started to bother her. We had a big climb down. There was Stokoa Gap, that was a couple miles away, and then Melina's blisters started popping. Then her feet got very painful, and she could barely walk. So she had to take off her shoes and hike in my sandals for 3 miles. Finally, we made it to Stokoa Gap, and I called Parks, and I was like, hey, Melina cannot hike like this, so can you please pick us up? Then while we were at the gap, this man comes down, and he was limping very bad, and he was about to turn 70 and had plans to hike the entire trail, but had slipped and thought he had ruptured his Achilles and needed to go to the hospital. And I said, my husband's on the way, we'll take you to the hospital. So we took our good friend Keith to the ER in Bryson City, dropped Melina off, decided that we were just going to stay in Asheville, and because it was supposed to be super cold tonight. So we are currently at Melina's parents' place. Melina is no longer hiking because her blisters are horrendous. And so Ahimsa and I are getting an early start tomorrow morning. We're going to start at the northern end of the Smoky Mountain National Park, and we're going to start hiking southbound. So yeah, that was a whirlwind of a day. But dang, I just have had so much fun with the 3 of us gals hiking together. We're gonna miss Melina, but she did awesome. I'm so proud of her. This was her first really, really big backpacking trip. And she just did fantastic. And so, yeah, to be continued. Just a wall of moss. Wow. Smoky Mountains. Mount Cameroon. Super cool. Built in 1939. Here's the inside. Pretty cool. Not a bad spot for lunch. Six spot. Here's camp. Is it practical? No. Very sloped in here. But it's a pretty sick spot. So today we knocked out 9 miles. Tomorrow, since we're officially in the Smoky Mountain National Park, we have to stay at the shelters. So it's been really tricky logistically to plan out our days, because it's like you're either gonna like hike 9 miles or you're gonna hike 20. And so we're not in any rush to finish. We want to milk it. So we're going to take our time, maybe do some side quests. Like today, Mount Cameroon was a fun little side quest that added like 1.5 miles. it was so worth it. The Smoky Mountains have been amazing so far.